welcome back to another edition of The Uncomfortable Truth. I'm your host, Dirk, and I'd like to have a conversation with you folks today about next door neighbors. And the crazy thing is, I actually get along quite well with the vast majority of my neighbors. It's been kind of a revolving door here in New York. People have come and gone. Kids grow older, they move off, they get married, settle down, go to school. People go to get jobs. But every so often, there's a certain core family in place that still stays where they've always been. I guess you could say on my side, I am one of those people. On the other side of the spectrum is this Hispanic family. Now, obviously, as many of you know by now, I'm a white guy, live with my girlfriend. They are a family of between 4 or 5. Now, what's sad about it is we've lived next to each other, a couple of houses apart, for probably between close to 7 to 10 years, give or take. And it could be longer. That's just sad. And the crazy part is I don't even know their names, nor do they know mine. Now, allow me to explain. There's a culture clash there, a level of distrust. Not really the type of people I look to hang out with. I'm not sure if they're Puerto Rican or Dominican or something along those lines. I, of course, as I've told you before, have Slavic roots, born and raised in this great country. The problem is that I think they are coming from a racial place, whereas I am actually more of a lone wolf, doesn't like to really hang out with people all that much. Which is fine. I mean, it's my personal business. I'm not doing anything wrong. Just my preferences have a very small, very, very minuscule group of friends, or at least people I would consider my close friends, aside of my own girl, obviously. These people live among other people, all Hispanics for the most part, in the same building. It's an apartment building. And the crazy part is, the other people in that building and myself get along good. Hi, how are you? How's it going? Very cordial, nice. I never have issues with them. These people are more street people, I would say. You know the types, staying out in front of their house all hours of the night, throwing house parties, and wait till I get to that in a little while. And so on and so forth. Well, I'm going to backtrack right now and give you a little bit of an idea what the heck is going on here. Many, many years ago, I noticed them moving in. They had one kid, maybe a baby on the way, and the boy was growing up. Now he's a man. The girl is growing up now into her teens, give or take. The father always seemed kind of shifty to me, much older than myself. Always this real nasty sneer on his face. Not a really friendly-looking guy. Can't say hi to him so much because he just doesn't seem like the kind of guy you want to talk to. He just doesn't give you that aura. I might even put off a couple of people. You know, and I have friends and my own girlfriend teasing me about my ways. You know, I can be a little antisocial. I can be a little bit of a standoffish ass myself. But for the most part, once you get me talking, I'm probably going to be the nicest, friendliest guy you'll ever meet. Now, here's where this whole thing started. And what led me to want to do this podcast. Basically, I go to the corner deli to pick up some items, and I see mom and son there, and it's awkward. Imagine walking into a place, seeing these people for many years, not knowing each other's names. Everybody's talking around you in this bubble, and once you walk in, and I'm sure it's the same for them in the reversal of the matter. I'm walking in, they notice me, I notice them, and instantly, the festivities stop. They go dead. Nobody's saying a word. We're trying to, not make eye contact. Nobody's even saying hello to each other. Now, I have a reason for that. And I think if we're going to be fair about it, I think that I was the one who was slighted. And I'll get to this story, which happened a couple of years ago, in a minute. So basically, they're talking. I walk in. They notice me. Everything gets ice cold in there. You know, as if the devil himself just marched in. I just take a breath. I go pick up my stuff. And I pay and I get my change and I take off. And as soon as I walk out the door, I hear them talking again. It's just this awkward thing. Now, somebody will say, well, Jesus Christ, they're fucking neighbors. Go out there and talk to them. Well, I tried. I actually broke the ice myself with the father. I figured I'll go from top to bottom. I'll go with the dad, the mom, and then I'll say hi to the kids, and everybody will be nice to each other at least. But more so the parents, at least, at the time. Because, what do I care? I'm not going to hang out with the kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm older than that. So the dad and I, we have this look at each other, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And, in the past we wouldn't say anything. But one day I just have this moment of introspection. I'm like, you know what? I can't be this. I just got to be nicer. So as we're walking past each other, he looks at me. I go, hey, how you doing? So he kind of stops and looks at me, and he has this moment of confusion as if the guy talked to me. I broke the ice. So he goes, hey, how are you? Great. We finally opened that little door between each other. Next day, see each other. Now he says hi to me. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? Good. We're friendly now. Walking past each other. But by the third day is where things get interesting. He comes up to me. I say hello to him. And he wants to sell me something. I don't know what it was. It could have been a watch. It could have been a DVD. I don't know what it was. So I very politely said no. I laughed. I thought we were just having like a funny moment, joking around. And I was like, no, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm not interested. Good luck. Anyway, I'll see you later, pal. So I walk off. He turns around. He walks away. Now, this could have happened 5 years ago. This could have happened 7 years ago. This could have happened 10 years ago. Point of the matter is, who knows, who gives a fuck. But now here's where the story gets interesting. The following day, I see him walking up his staircase. I'm locking my gate, and I'm going, hey, just giving him acknowledgement that he's there. And I notice he doesn't say anything. Walks right past. I say, okay, maybe the guy was having a rough day. Maybe he didn't notice. Not a big deal. I'm not going to cry about it. Next day, similar scenario. Now this time, I know for a fact he saw me. He made no effort to say hello to me. I nodded to him. Again, nothing. At which point I walked off laughing to myself and I said, gotcha. I am a good-for-nothing piece of shit white boy to you. All that I'm good for is money. He wanted to basically get friendly to sell me something, and God knows what other intentions he had. We never took it that far, I can't say for sure. As soon as he didn't get his way, he instantly forgot about my existence. So remember, I go from realizing and being embarrassed by the fact that a neighbor and myself, out of every neighbor and I talk except this family. So I want to say, hey, you know what? I want to break the ice. I'm going to do the right thing. Me and all my white privilege, as people would say. Get the fuck out of here with that horse shit. So I go over there and I say this, and then he does this to me later. All he cared about was profit. He didn't give a rat's ass about me. And from that point on, it just got worse and worse. Nobody says anything to each other. We're living in the same vicinity. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? What if it was an emergency between one or the other? Something happened. If I was in an accident, would they even give a fuck to call the police or an ambulance? That's the scary part, because honestly, I may be inclined to pick up that phone and I would call 911. I don't know if they would. That's frightening to me. So then you got to ask yourself, why? Because it all breaks down to race at the end of the day. They are Hispanic, probably more Caribbean than on the Latino side of the equation. But I don't know them. I don't give a rat's ass. The thing is, as soon as he didn't get what he wanted from me, he didn't even bother saying hello anymore. That's as far as down on the line that as I fell for him. Perfectly fine. But it's just annoying and the most unbelievable feeling on earth. Like I said, going into a place, seeing the same group of people, and never even looking at each other to say hello to each other, and you live in the same vicinity, the same neighborhood. It's shameful. But again, I did my part. I am not going to bend over backwards. I'm not going to kiss his feet. I'm not going to throw myself over a mud for his family to trample over me. And you better believe when they talk about me, it's probably all about what a fucking stuck-up piece of shit, racist, white motherfucker I am, a puta and all that shit. But the reality is, like I said, I actually extended the olive branch. I tried to do the right thing and not look like an ass. He didn't even want to meet me halfway, you know? All he cared about was how much money he can make off of me. And then we get down to the fucking house parties. Kids are getting older. All of a sudden, as of last summer or so, music starts blasting in the backyard. Parties. And it's like, Jesus Christ. We can remember, as far as even last year, where their music holds us up till about 4 o'clock in the morning. You try to do the right thing, you ignore it once or twice, but it never ends. Even now, this year, I can think of 3 times they started to house party again. In the past, they would do it up to 1 o'clock. Now they're increasing it, and believe me, it's going to come down to a confrontation. They just don't give a shit. You call the cops, what the fuck do the cops do? They'll come over there, knock on the door, talk to them, they'll turn off the music. The moment the cop leaves, 5 minutes later, it'll go back on again. And maybe even worse. There are babies in the building all over. There are babies in the vicinity everywhere in this neighborhood. It's not even fair to them, let alone myself. At the end of the day, all you really have is yourself and those small, select group of people that you call your family or friends. So, it's going to be what it is at this point, you know? We're going to still keep seeing each other unless one or the other moves away. It's just the most ridiculous feeling on earth, you know? But, you know, it's no skin off my back. Anyway, that's another uncomfortable truth. If any of you feel like you know what I'm talking about, what I'm feeling or going through, feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear some feedback if possible. My name is Dirk, and I'm going to wish you guys a fantastic rest of your day. Bye for now.